designated as IBM Cloud Consultant for 2015 and also Microsoft Azure certified by Mage and DSG Cloud Mentor. Have an experience of more than 70 years in academics and loves to deliver inspiring and technical talks. Have representative of Uttarakhand, UP West and Himachal as a science communicator in Indian Science Congress 2014. And since then, it is a passion to talk and teach about how to make use of science in a daily life. Have been a gold medalist and university topper in BTech, did BTech in computer science and engineering, MTech in computer science, and PhD in computer science. A life member of Computer Society of India, IETE, ISCA. Have contributed in CSI at various levels at Honorary Secretary, CSI Haridwar Chapter in 2014 to 16, Chairman from 2017 to 18. Actively involved in various social activities of Red Cross and Bharat Vikas Parishad. Editor of CSI Journal of Computing and editorial member of International Journal of Computer Current Engineering and Scientific Research and UGC approved journal. I heartily welcome you, sir, at Bharati Vidyapeeth's Institute of Computer Applications and Management. Today, sir, will enlightening us on the technological perspective of blockchain. So now, without much delay, I request sir to please take over the session and enlightening us on blockchain. Sir, please.
Thank you, Vishal sir. First of all, it is a pleasure and honor for me to join in this FDP today, which is being conducted by Bharati Vidyapeeth Institute, Delhi. And as I was telling, this is really a great work which is being done by Professor Huda and his team. And that during this time of COVID, when we all are living a life of stress and worried, and Professor Huda has provided a platform where we all can learn and share our knowledge. So I'll proceed with this. As Vishal sir has already told that today the group is mixed, means we have teachers from physics also, chemistry also, management also. So I'll try to keep my presentation as basic as it can be so that I'm able to discuss with you all that what is blockchain. The basic objective of this 2-hour session is to make the concept of blockchain clear, that it is clear in each and everyone who is present in this session that what is basically a blockchain is. Then I would also like to tell what are different applications of blockchain where you can use a blockchain so that it does not remain only to the theoretical part. In case there are any queries, then you can write down in the chat window. I'll try to answer them to the best of my ability. Now, to understand what a blockchain is, let's start with the presentation and we'll be covering what is a blockchain. Now, just to understand what a blockchain is, let us talk about a story, or we can say, let us talk about an incident to explain what blockchain is. This is the same incidents I have given before also in previous workshops. In case some of you have attended it somewhere, then you must have heard of it. But I'm repeating the same incidents to know what a blockchain is. Now, there was a query that what is a prerequisite and all. So no prerequisite, just listen to this session and I hope that what is blockchain shall be clear. Now, to start with, let us assume that we all, those who are attending this session, are known to each other and we all live in a common society and we all start depositing a certain amount of money so that in case of need we can utilize that money. When we are depositing that money, we require some bank or some person with whom we can deposit the money. So what we do is we mutually decide a person, let us say Mr. X, that we will be keeping our money to Mr. X, and Mr. X have a register in which he keep on writing down that how much money one has given. So Mr. X is keeping the record of that how much money one has given. For example, if we say that Sujit sir has given 100 rupees, so Mr. X is keeping the record. Shelja Verma ma'am has given 500 rupees, so Mr. X is keeping the record that Shelja Verma ma'am has given 500 rupees. So like this, Mr. X is keeping the record in the register. And after a period of, say, 5 6 months, we require the amount which we have deposited. What we do is we go to the house of Mr. X, and we are astonished to see that Mr. X is no more alive. Due to his health problem or some issue, he is no more alive. And we feel very sad for this that Mr. X is no more alive with us. But at the end of the day, we also need our money. So we asked from the his family members that Mr. X was keeping a register and our money in a locker in his Almira. Can you please open the Almira and give us our amount? When the Almira is opened and the locker is opened, we are astonished to see that no money is there and even the register is not there. Now, at this point of time, we can't blame anyone and all our money is lost. So, what all we deposited is lost now. Now, can anyone who is from computer science background or from engineering background who can use means chat window and tell me that to which analogy of computer science, if I compare this scenario which I have told, to which analogy of computer science can we compare this scenario with? Any of the participants can use if they know. Yes, Lalit sir, please write in the chat window. Logging. R. Selvaraj. Very good, Selvaraj sir. It is correctly said by Selvaraj sir. This is an example of centralized computing. What is it? It is a centralized computing where everything was uh, everything for every task, one person was responsible. Similarly, in a centralized computing, whenever we are doing a computing, we say that there is a one central server which is responsible for each and every computation. And if something went wrong in the centralized computer, every data will be lost and all our computations will be lost and we'll be at a loss at the end of the day. So this type of computing where everything was controlled by a single man can be referred to as a centralized computing. Now we all decide that again we all will contribute, but this time we will not keep the record with one person, because if one person something happens with that one person, all our record is gone. This time what we do is we depute 5 person who belong to our group, and these 5 persons are keeping the record now. So money is being kept at a single place, but record is being kept with 5%. Now all the 5 persons are maintaining the record that who has given how much amount. For example, Supriya Gupta ma'am has given 1,000 rupees. Similarly, Kudre Mahesh Kumar Dilip sir has given 1,000 rupees. So this record is being kept by 5 different person now. But what happens that there is a man in our society who is very clever, and he finds that we are collecting a huge amount of money, and he can make this money if he can bribe these 5 persons, if he can lure these 5 persons, we could say. So what he do is he meet these 5 persons and he explain them that if we do the changes in the record, this much amount of money we all can share, we all 6 can share among us. And unluckily these all 5 persons, they fell prey to this person, and they do the changes in the record. When we need the money, we call these 5 persons and we ask for the records and the money. We all are astonished to see that there are certain uh, misdoings in the records. But we can't help it because we are not having any proof. Someone is unmuted. Please mute yourself. Okay, so we find that we have lost the money. We are please mute Roya. Sir, mute all. One is unmuted. What has happened is some sound is coming. No, it is fine. Now, yes. So what happened that, yeah, I was not speaking because there was a noise. Now it is audible. Now it must be audible, I think. Now, what happens that 5 persons were keeping the record, but all these 5 persons did certain thing wrong in the record. So we all again are in a loss. So now, can any one of you please? Here some sound is coming. Please see. Now, can any one of you use your chat window and can any one of you use your chat window and write down the a lot of noises coming.
Dr. Fernandez, please mute yourself. Dr. Fernandez.
Thank you, Vishal sir. Good. I think now it is. These kind of things happens in online teaching. Don't worry, this is a part of technology. We have to live with it. So even in classes, we find certain disturbance. So don't ignore these things. Okay, don't worry. Now, no need to say sorry, sir. This things happens in life. Don't worry. Now let's proceed with it. Now, what happens that we are in a loss of money. So now, can any one of you again use your chat window and tell me that if we compare this analogous, where instead of 1 person, 5 persons were keeping the record, which type of computing is it? Which type of computing is it? In terms of computers, this scenario where 5 persons are keeping the record, we can compare it with which type of computing? Distributed computing. So, Priyama, very good, great. Distributed Lalit, sir. Good. Great, great, great. So this is an example of distributed computing, or we can say a decentralized computing. Like first one was a centralized computing, where there was a single server which was responsible to do all the things. Now it is a decentralized computing, or we can say a distributed computing. Now in the third scenario, what we do is we again start collecting the money. But this time, what we have done is that there are 40-50 participants in this workshop. So approximately 47-48 participants. All of us keep the record. All of us has maintained a register, and we all of us are writing in our register that how much money one has given. So when all of us are writing in the register, then there is no case in which that all of us do certain thing wrong. Because when all of us are writing, all of us are equally responsible, and we cannot do any type of cheating. So in this type of scenario, what we are doing, everyone is keeping the record that how much money who has given. And this record is being written into the register only when we say that there is a mutual consensus among all of us, or mutual consensus among 5 or 10 people of the group, that when they agree, yes, this transaction has happened, yes, Mr. X or Mr. Y, for example, Dr. Sanasanam has given 1000 rupees. If 10 people agree, and those who have made responsible, that only when they will agree, then we will keep it, keep these things in the record, then we enter it into our record. So this type of technology, though it is not only this, I'm just trying to explain in very simple terms. This type of technology in which we say that every party, every person who is accessing it, who is a part of that application, is keeping the record, is having the control on it, depending upon the restrictions which we have given to it, is known as blockchain technology. So the third scenario, which is an extension of basically the distributed computing. It is also an extension of distributed computing only. So this third scenario, which is an extension of distributed computing, is basically a blockchain technology. So we'll be seeing what is blockchain slowly and slowly in this 2 hour session. For the time being, you can say that the third scenario where each and everyone is keeping a record is technology which is somewhat analogous to blockchain technology. Now to proceed with, before I come to more technical terms of blockchain, let me tell you two, three things. One is that blockchain, you can compare it as an operating system. You can compare blockchain as an operating system, though it is not an operating system. I'm just giving an analogous that you can compare it as an operating system. It is a platform where you build your applications. It is a platform where you build your applications, and your applications are managed by the underlying platform. The applications use the facilities of blockchain, it use the features of blockchain. So blockchain, you can say it is an operating system or where you are developing your applications. It is a platform or where you are developing your applications. The applications look similar to as if they have been looked made on some other platform. But technically, they are having the capabilities of this technology, and which we'll be exploring now. You can say that blockchain is a multi-purpose operating system, is a multi-purpose technology which can be used for large number of applications, which can be used for large number of things. Okay, so let's proceed with what a blockchain is. Now, those of you have studied linked list. Let me use the chat window, then only I'll give the example of linked list. Otherwise, I'll not give this example of linked list. Kindly use your chat window and write one if you know what is linked list. If you know what is linked list, then write one. Or yes, whatever you want. Only one person. If others know, they please write. If they only know what is linked list, basics of linked list, if they have heard of or they are familiar with what is linked list, then please write. I'm not asking question that what is linked list. I just want to know that whether you know or do not. Only 2, 3 people. Okay. So let us forget about linked list. We'll not talk about linked list. Now in the screen you can see there are different blocks which are linked together, which are joined with each other in the form of a chain. So what is a blockchain is? See, I took an example of where we were having registers which are used with different people to keep the record. So in the same way, you can think that in a blockchain there are different blocks, and these blocks belongs to different persons, and these blocks are linked together with each other with a chain. These blocks are linked together with each other with a chain. Now, how are they linked and what they do is something more technical. We'll come to it slowly and slowly. The basic point is that these blocks are linked with each other. A block is created and it gets linked with the previous block. The block which was created before, it gets linked with the previous block. Now, what does this block contains basically? Now, this block contains the data which we want to store in the platform. This block contains the data through which we want to store it in the block. For example, I was saying that Dr. Salasanam has given 1,000 rupees, Dr. This has given 500 rupees. So all these records are called transactions. And these transactions get combined together for a specific period of time. And within that specific period of time, all these transactions get combined together and are recorded in a block. For example, we say that after every 10 minutes, a new block is created. Then again in 10 after 10 minutes, whatever transactions will take place, they will be combined together in a block. And the new block will join to the previous block. So this block contains the data, and the data can be anything. This data can represent any application of yours. So this data will be joining into the coming into the block, and the block will be connecting into the previous block. Now, blockchain is basically a computer technology, is an IT technology. So difficult to work if you are not familiar with other IT platforms, but we'll try to explain so that it becomes clear. Now, there are so many computer technologies now. Why blockchain came into the picture is that blockchain is believed to be a very strong and a very secure technology. Now, what make it secure? Technically, we call this thing hashing. So I'll show you what is hashing and why this hashing is so secure. When a block links to the previous block, so to link to the previous block, it requires the, you can say, the address of that block which it wants to link. Over here, instead of using the address of the block is linked to the hash value of that block. Now, how is this hash value generated? We'll come to it afterwards. So, a brief overview that a block contains data and the block is linked to the previous block. The first block, which is created in a blockchain, is called a Genesis block. Little bit of technical words I'm using. The first block is called a Genesis block. Now to understand blockchain more, let's go through these definition of blockchain. What I'll do is in the next 5 minutes, I'll cover 4 or 5 definitions of what is blockchain so that the concept of what is blockchain becomes clear and the basics of what is blockchain is clear to all of us. So now, as already told, सर्वरस सर आपकी तरफ से अब म्यूट करना पड़ेगा.
Yes, sir.
सर्वरस सर आपका माइक अभी भी unmute.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I done it, sir.
Now, okay. Now what is blockchain? As I've already told that registers were kept with different people and they were keeping the record. So these registers now you will compare it as a ledger. So these registers are the ledgers. So what is a blockchain? Blockchain is a distributed ledger. Every participant is having its own ledger and is keeping the record in himself. When every person is having the ledger, so we can call it as it is a distributed ledger, which is replicated across several computers. Now, it is in the field of IT, so all these ledger is basically the application which is there in the computer. It is not a physical register. So it is a distributed ledger. For example, I think all of you, irrespective of the field, physics, chemistry, math, you must have used Google Docs or Google Forms. So Google Docs or Google Form is a type of distributed ledger. It is not an example of blockchain, but it is also a distributed ledger where everyone can access it. You have distributed to it, and everyone can contribute to it if you want. Everyone can edit it if you want. So it is a distributed ledger type of thing. Google Doc, Google Sheets, it is a distributed ledger. Okay. So blockchain is also a distributed ledger, but it is a permission-based distributed ledger. A database is something where we store our data. So blockchain is a database because we can store our data in the block. So blockchain is a database, but definitely it is a permission-based database. Means it is not that anyone can store it, anyone can access it, anyone can do something in it. So it is a permission-based database. Only the permission which we have given to the different users, they can do only those things. And the beauty is in blockchain, if we have made a record, if we have added a block, and if we have made a transaction and it has been added into a block, then we cannot delete that transaction. We cannot delete that block. Remember this. It is not possible to delete the block from the chain. We cannot break the chain. We cannot delete the record from the block. If something has been added by mistake, the only way to overcome our mistake is to add another block with a transaction which can overcome the previous block, previous transaction. but we cannot delete it. Okay. So blockchain is a database. Blockchain is a permission-based database. And those who are from computer science, they can understand that blockchain is a data structure. Those who are not from computer science, don't worry. Data structure is something we can say it is the method by which we store the data in a computer. So blockchain, we are storing the data. So how the data is being stored, how it is being managed, this technology is called data structure. So blockchain is a data structure. Blockchain is a data structure. Now we see another definition. Let's go through this definition. Blockchain is essentially a database. It is written on the screen, all of you can easily read it, where information is chronologically stored in a continuously growing chain of data blocks implemented in a decentralized network in a way that creates data integrity, trust, and security for the nodes without the need for central authorities or intermediaries. Without the need for central authorities or intermediaries. Now, just go through this definition which is written and tell in case there is any query. In this definition, if some words are written, use your chat window to ask if there is some query in this definition. Blockchain is a database where information is chronologically stored. No query. Shall we proceed? A continuously growing chain of data blocks implemented in a decentralized network. Fernandez, sir, I told decentralized network means which is not available at one place. Computers which are distributed at different places. Someone is at Agra, someone is at Delhi, someone is at America. This is a decentralized network which is not centralized at one place. Okay. Any other query? Chronologically stored should have been a query. It has not been asked. Chronologically, I am explaining that it is being stored in an order. Okay. Now, blockchain, yes, what is nodes? Now, these blocks, which I showed you in the previous slide, they are also known as nodes, you can see. Basically, nodes are computers over here. Basically, nodes are computers over here. The different users, different computers are the nodes. So, information is continuously stored in data blocks implemented in a decentralized network that creates data integrity, trust, and security for the nodes. Okay. Time stamping is there. We will not talk about something which has not been talked up till now. Okay. If time permits, I'll show you time stamping and all practically also. Don't worry. Now we shift to third definition of blockchain. Just give me a second. Hold on. So just hold on. Yes, please. Now you must have gone through this definition. Blockchain can be regarded as a global spreadsheet. As I was already telling you, that blockchain can be regarded as a global spreadsheet, Google Doc, something like this, or an incorruptible digital ledger. Incorruptible because I told you that it is not possible to do the changes. Once it is recorded, it is recorded. Where financial transactions like I was saying that he is giving this much rupees, but not only financial transactions, it can record any type of transaction where financial transactions and data, any data or asset can be represented, shared, and transacted with. So, blockchain is a global spreadsheet where you can record any type of data, any type of transactions, any type of applications can be recorded in the blockchain. If we say what is a blockchain, blockchain is basically a distributed, secure block file. What is it? It is a distributed secure block file. I told you that the basic thing of blockchain is that it is very much secure. If we talk about the Wikipedia definition of blockchain, blockchain is a continuously growing list of records called blocks, which are linked and secured using cryptography. Any query up till now? Any query, please use your chat window to ask the queries. No queries? Those who are not from computers background, they can also ask the queries. I'll be happy to answer if I can. So blockchain is a growing list of records. It keep on growing as new records are added, and they are linked with each other, and they are secure. Is there doubt? Or there should be no. Now, which are linked and secured using cryptography. What is cryptography? Cryptography is a computer technology where we do the changes. Encoding decoding, yes, encoding decoding is something which you can use for cryptography as an analogous, so that things become clear to you. For example, I am sending a message to you that hi, how are you? But instead of writing hi, how are you, I'm writing 010101. I'm replacing. So this is encoding. So cryptography is something which is, we can say, we are encoding. So it uses an encoding technique. It uses a cryptography technique which is very powerful. Blockchain uses a cryptography technique which is called hashing. I'll be giving an example of hashing also. So blockchain has become secure due to hashing. Hashing is one of the feature which makes blockchain secure. Now, to summarize with what a blockchain is a cryptographically secured record of transactions stored on a decentralized network where each block contains various transactions which are approved after complex consensus algorithm. Cryptographically secured record of transaction. This is clear to all, I hope. Stored on a decentralized network. I hope this is also clear that it is a decentralized network, so one person is not there. Each block contains various transactions. I said that, for example, if we are having a block after every 10 minutes, so it is having the records for 10 minutes. And this block is approved after complex consensus algorithm. Now, what is this complex consensus algorithm? We will come to it. For the time being, you can assume that what is this complex consensus algorithm? Consensus means mutual agreement. So every blockchain platform, for example, when we were talking about people living in the society, we said that we will write down in the record only when we say that 10 people who are among us, they agree, yes, this transaction has taken place. This is a type of a mutual agreement algorithm. So there are different complex mutual agreement algorithms which are called complex consensus algorithms, which are called consensus algorithms, and which are pre-built in the platform on which we are writing our application. We don't have to worry for them. And depending upon these consensus algorithm, a block is joined into the chain. Only when the block passes the test of the consensus algorithm, you can say. Consensus algorithms are deciding factors which decide that whether a block will join into the chain or not. Check the authenticity of the block, and if it finds that everything is working fine in the block as per the consensus algorithm rules, then only the block joins into the chain. This is the basics of complex consensus algorithm. Now, let us proceed further. Now, if you see, summarize this, what we have already studied also, that blockchain is a distributed ledger technology that enables trust, accountability, and transparency to streamline and innovate process across business network. It is a distributed technology which has established trust, accountability, and transparency. Instead of messaging-based communication, the new paradigm is state-based. We come to know what is a state in this afterwards. Now, as I was repeating, I've told 2, 3 times that blockchain becomes secure because of a technology which is called cryptographic technology, which is called hashing. Cryptography is a subject in network security, in data security, or in information security, or you can say networks, any security subject in computer science. Cryptography is basically concept of coding and decoding, we can say. So there is one cryptographic algorithm which is called SHA-256, SHA-256. The blockchain uses this algorithm SHA-256 to encrypt and decrypt the data. And the SHA-256 very powerful algorithm. If you can see this slide over here, the SHA-256 output of the word hello world is given on the right side. In the next image, that is on the below image, we have changed only a single exclamation mark has been added to hello world. You see that even in entering a single exclamation mark, the output changes drastically. So this is SHA-256. Now, if there is a data in the block and someone do the changes into the block, the hash of that block will change. And if the hash of that block will change, the block will not join into the chain. So this is how we prevent things to get changed in the block. And this is why we cannot change the thing which is already recorded into the block. Because by changing the data, the hash value will change abruptly. We cannot come to know that what was the previous hash value because we have not saved it. We have not saved it. This is SHA-256, which is used by blockchain technology. Now, again, I ask for if there is any query because we are shifting towards more technical things. It is good if we can take some queries if you can ask. No queries? Use your chat window to tell, shall we proceed? Write down yes, you wish that we should proceed, all that's comfortable with you all. Explain hash one more time. Sure, Dr. Bharat, I'll explain. Okay, so there's one query that what is hash? Now, hash is basically a cryptographic algorithm, SHA-256, cryptographic algorithm, Dr. Bharat. What does it here do is, you give it an input, it changes the input to some other code. For example, you can see in this slide, which is there on the screen, hello world was given as an input to this function. This is basically a function. And the output of this function is this. So it is difficult to recognize if you are able to steal the data and you get this data in A, B, C, D, 1, 5, 1, this form, it is unable to decode. This data is being encoded in this. It is unable to decode that what was the original data. This is how we keep the record safe. This is one of the measures which keep the blockchain secure. Now we come to types of platform which are there in a blockchain network. Any query? There is no query. Let's proceed. Now, blockchain is an operating system. Blockchain is a platform where we are writing our application. This has already been told. Blockchain is a database. Blockchain is a data structure where we are writing our application. And in this application, oh, sorry, we are writing an application in a blockchain. Now, when we are writing an application in a blockchain network, there are three different type of platforms which is provided by a blockchain network. A blockchain network is divided basically into three types of platform. What are these three types of platform is public, private, and consortium. These are three different types of blockchain platform. A public blockchain platform is where anyone can join, anyone can contribute, and it is written in an open source code. Private blockchain platform is which is consolidated to a company. It is not possible that organizations outside that company join that blockchain platform. That is a private blockchain network. Consortium blockchain platform is which is a, you can say, a group of companies which are working for a common cause. For example, if there are two, three organizations and which are working for education system and they make a blockchain platform, they join a blockchain platform, it is called a consortium blockchain platform. So there are three type of platforms: public, private, and consortium. Public, which is open source, can be used by anyone. Private, which is used by certain industry people, and consortium, which is a group of organizations which are working for a common cause. Now, we'll go through this slide which is visible on your screen just for a moment, then we will cover this. Just read it first, then I will speak on it. Can we proceed now? Now, just hold on. Platform. In the slide which you can see, the first column is these are different name of different platforms: E-chain, Azure, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Hydra chain, Hyperledger, IOTA. Now these are like Windows, Linux, Android. These are different platforms. Similarly, in blockchain, these are different platforms. It is up to us which platform do we want to work on. E-chain, Azure, Bitcoin, Ethereum. Today we'll be talking a little bit about Ethereum. Okay. These are different type of platforms. Now, type of platform: public, which can be used by anyone; consortium, which is by a group of organizations; private, fixed to a particular organization. Okay. Architecture we'll talk about. PL is a programming language. Now, whenever we work in for an application, we
Mayank sir, you are not audible. Mayank sir. I request to all participants, please wait. I think there is some problem with his mobile phone. He was connected through mobile and mobile is switch off now. So maybe some battery problem or somewhat. Please wait.
were talking about that platforms and all. So I hope that platform is clear and type and architecture is clear. Now we'll proceed with it. Yes. Now we'll talk about what are the basic components of a blockchain. What are the basic components which we all should know, which are there for a blockchain network? So the first component, which is called a ledger, we have already covered what a ledger is. A consensus mechanism. We'll talk about consensus mechanism. Now, digital asset. All of you, or some of you, must have heard of the term Bitcoin. So this Bitcoin is one of the application of blockchain. Bitcoin is one of the application of blockchain. Now, like we are having a currency in Indian currency, which is used in India, dollar, which is used in America. Similarly, there is a term which is called a cryptocurrency. So cryptocurrency is a digital currency, you can say, which is not made by any government, but it is being made by computers, and people use this cryptocurrency in different ways. So we will not talk about more about cryptocurrency. You can just think that cryptocurrency is a digital currency. Do not confuse with it that when you are using your Indian currency in a digital way, it is same as digital currency. Cryptocurrency is a currency which has been created digitally. Okay. So Bitcoin is one of the cryptocurrency, you can say. Basically, Bitcoin is an application of blockchain network, and Bitcoin is also the name of a cryptocurrency. So when we talk about a blockchain platform, for example, Ethereum has a cryptocurrency which is called Ether. Okay, Ethereum has a cryptocurrency which is called Ether. So in a blockchain platform, what is required? There is a ledger, there is consensus mechanism, and there is a digital asset. There is a cryptocurrency with which we deal with. And there are network participants. Network participants are, we all are network participants. Those who become the part of that blockchain network, they are known as network participants of that blockchain network. Okay, so we all are the network participants, different computers which are running with. Now I'll talk little bit about consensus mechanism. Now, as told before, consensus mechanism means mutual agreement among the network participants. So network participants, sorry, these network participants should have some mutual agreement. So consensus mechanism is the algorithm which is predefined, which is pre-built in the blockchain platform. There are various different type of consensus mechanisms which are there, which is used in different type of blockchain platform. Each consensus mechanism is of different type. There is one consensus mechanism which is very famous, which was very much used when Bitcoin came into the picture, and that consensus mechanism was called proof of work. That consensus mechanism was called proof of work. Now, how does this proof of work works actually? I'm trying to explain this to you. Just hold on for a moment. Now, these are different consensus mechanisms which are written. Sorry, these are different consensus mechanisms which are yes. Now, these are different consensus mechanisms which are written in front of you. We are talking about the first consensus mechanism, which is called proof of work. So, proof of work is a consensus mechanism which came into the picture in Bitcoin. Now, how does this proof of work works? Now, suppose there are 50 participants, and out of these 50 participants, 10 of them have decided that these 10 will approve whether a transaction has taken place or not. Now, these 10 people, those who are approving whether a transaction has taken place or not, they have to do a lot of computation to find out that whether a transaction has taken place or not. Now, all these type of computation require a huge amount of energy in terms of computers. In terms of electricity, it requires a huge amount of electricity. It requires a huge amount of computation power. So these 10 people, what do these 10 people do? They purchase large number of computers which are able to solve these complex algorithms, which are able to solve these mathematical puzzles to say yes, that transaction has taken place or not. Now, these people, those who are controlling all these things, are called miners. These people are called miners in proof of work category. I am talking about with respect to Bitcoin blockchain platform. Okay, so these people are called miners, those who approve that whether a transaction has taken place or not, whether a block can join into the chain or not. Now, why these people are doing all this work, why they have invested so much in computing? Because when they are saying yes, that this block can be joined into the chain, they are being rewarded in the same cryptocurrency of the platform. They are being given a part of the cryptocurrency as a, you can say, as a reward for solving the puzzles. So this is how proof of work works. This is one of the complex consensus algorithm. But proof of work requires huge amount of energy, huge amount of computation power. Therefore, various other consensus mechanism algorithms came into the picture, which is called, there are other consensus mechanism algorithms, which we'll not talk about today, but we'll just see what are these. One is proof of stake, other is Byzantine fault tolerance, one is proof of activity, proof of burn time, proof of elapsed time. So there are large number of consensus mechanism algorithms, and depending upon the platform, there are different consensus mechanisms. For example, the same chart is in front of you. Again, you can see that which chart is in front of you, or sorry, which consensus mechanism is used by which platform. And in case of any query up till now, to use your chat window. Any query up till now, please use your chat window. Like if you say that Ethereum uses proof of work, now Ethereum has shifted to another consensus mechanism algorithm, which is called Casper, proof of stake. Okay. Similarly, Hyperledger use Byzantine CMS consensus mechanism, sir. CMS consensus mechanism. Okay. Any other query? Is consensus mechanical secure? See, consensus mechanism is basically an algorithm, and it is written into the blockchain platform, sir. And blockchain platform is supposed to be secure, though we cannot say that anything is 100% secure, but blockchain platform is supposed to be secure due to, there are many reasons for it. One is hashing, which I have shown to you, and if time permits, we'll see practically also what is hashing. Another is that permission based system is there. Okay, permission is given for every work. So let's proceed now. I hope in this 1 hour or so, I was able to explain that what is the basics of blockchain and what are the main components of blockchain. If we talk about the key attributes, so it is a distributed technology. It is sustainable. Sustainable means that POS is proof of stake, BFT is Byzantine fault tolerance. These are different consensus mechanisms, and it is not possible to explain each and every consensus mechanism. If you are from computer science, then you can be in touch with me, and we can explain, talk more about it.
Mayank sir? Mayank sir, are you there? Mayank sir,
Am I connected again?
now you are
Yes, sir.
audible,
Yes, sir.
sir.
Connected, sir. Connected. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, you are audible. Yes, sir.
Today, not. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I today the net is not working again and again. It is getting disconnected in the fiber. Anyhow, so I've connected with hotspot again. I hope. Yes, there was a problem again in the network, so it became inaudible. So I was talking about that on the screen. You can see the shared ledger consensus and permission for privacy. The smart contract we have to talk about. Well, sir. Can anyone please? Is it visible and am I audible? Am I audible? Okay, thank you. So we will talk about a smart contract now. What is a smart contract? In a blockchain platform, remember in the previous slide that I shown you that there's a platform and there's a programming language. Programming language is used to write the code in a blockchain platform. The programming language is used to write the code into the blockchain platform. The code which we write into this blockchain platform is called a smart contract. The code which we write into a blockchain platform is called a smart contract. There are different programming language by which we can write down the code. Now, why this programming language code is called a smart contract in blockchain platform? Reason being is that when we write down the code into this blockchain platform, the code execute itself. It does not require any third-party interference. It does not require any user interference. And this code is inserted into the blockchain platform using the features of that platform, and the code itself decide that whether a transaction is taking place or not. So the code is written in such a way that we call it a smart contract. It is not artificially intelligent, but it is being given, conditions are given to within the code that who can access what part of the block. Conditions are given in it. For example, in C language, like we give conditions with if else statement, you can compare it somewhat. The code is similar to this, but this code does not require any interference from any user, and it does not, we do not need to know that who is the owner of the blockchain, what permissions are being given to whom. So this code is called basically a smart contract. So the person, those who have to work in a blockchain network, they require two type of knowledge. One is that they should know how to write down the smart contract. So it is a teamwork. One person write down the smart contract in a blockchain platform, right, using any blockchain language. Maybe it is Ethereum, maybe it is Solidity, maybe it is Serpent, maybe it is Go language. And another programmer is required which who works on the front end, who create the actual application. So there are different layers when we work in a blockchain network. Okay, one is the platform. Over the platform is the smart contract, and over and above this smart contract is your GUI application. This is a sample smart contract which is written over here just to show you uh, an overview of Solidity. Not required to see this as smart contract at all because we are not going to learn Solidity. Now, blockchain can be used for many different applications. It is not limited to a particular application. To explain to what type of applications we can use it, let me share an example with you. See, now whenever there is a new birth, we all go for the birth certificate and, and we go to different office and get a birth certificate. When the child who has taken birth goes to the school, we give the birth certificate to the school. If the school issues different results to him up to class 12. And after class 12, he goes to the college, where college people ask about his class 12 result. And then college gives different mark sheets to him. Finally, a degree he gets. Then he goes to the employer. The employer checks all his back records. Fala, fala, fala. So if we make a blockchain network where the birth certificate is recorded into this network, into a block, and it is visible to all, when he takes the admission into the school principal logs in into the platform and he finds that yes, this is his record. Similarly, the school principal update everything into this blockchain network. The college principal also do the same thing. So this is an example where a blockchain can be used. So blockchain can be used for any type of business. It can be used in food industry. It can be used in different type of apps. It can be used in applications. So there are different types of applications in which we can use blockchain. I'll not show the video to you. We'll skip this video. It can be used in medical science. It can be used for voting, financially, cloud. Now, practically, I'll show you where we can use blockchain and different examples of blockchain to make it more clear. We'll see some practical things. And before we switch to the practical things, this is something very interesting that some two people got married and they recorded their wedding on blockchain. This is an old case of 2014 where two people got married with each other and they recorded their marriage on a blockchain network. So blockchain can be, with this example, I wish to say that blockchain can be used in any type of application. So you can use it for any type of application. Now we will see little bit of practical part. So I'll stop sharing for a moment and I'll share my screen again when we open some practical things, and I'll share my screen. In the meantime, if there are any queries, then do ask your code, okay, using the chat window. And give me a moment to see, means to open a new window which I wish to share with you now. Just would be happy to see if you can ask certain queries in the meantime. Application of blockchain in healthcare. I'll show these applications to you, different applications. Practically, I wish to show, therefore I'm holding on for a moment. Instead of speaking only that there are different applications, I'll show some applications to you practically. Before I open those applications, let me give you a brief overview of how blockchain basically looks like and how it looks like. Now, those of you who are interested to know more about blockchain and all, and how do we practically implement blockchain, I have shared a link of my YouTube channel. You can join on this YouTube channel. You will find different videos of blockchain where I have explained that how can we make applications in blockchain. You can go through these YouTube channel. Now I'll again present the screen and I'll share the complete screen, then it will become easier. Good. Now, is this site visible? Blockchain written, block 1, block 2, block 3, something like this written. Is it visible? Yes. Thank you. Yes. Now see, this is a demo which I am trying to give you. This is the first block, which we call it a Genesis block, block number 1. Now, a block contains a block number and a nonce. What is a nonce? Nonce is a random value. Now, this keyword nonce, this term nonce, comes at several places in blockchain network. So, because this is a mixed crowd, so it is not suitable to explain each and every bit of it. For the time being, you can say that with respect to a block, a nonce is a random number. A nonce is associated with a smart contract also. A nonce is associated with a consensus mechanism algorithm also. For a block, a nonce is a random number. And this is the data which we are storing in the blockchain network. For example, I store BDI cap. And these two things, this is the hash of the previous block, and this is the hash value of this block. Like I said, SHA-256 of hello world. So this is the hash value of this block. Now this hash value depends upon this data and this random number bounds. Now look very carefully. If I change this data value, look at the value of the hash. This is changing. Okay, is it changing? So this makes it secure. If someone tamper with your hash value, sorry, if someone try to tamper with the data, the hash value of the block will change. And this is the hash value of the block because of which it is joining in the chain. If someone tamper with the data, the block will not join in the chain. And when the block will not join in the chain, you can think that it is a garbage. It is not visible to anyone. So it is of no use. Therefore, blockchain becomes secure. Second thing, the data which we are storing, when it gets stored, it is also stored in a by a hash function. We are to visualize it, we are storing it as ABCD, but actually when it is stored as a hashed value. So, and I said that when this block has been created, miners decide that whether this block has to be become a part of the blockchain or not. So to just to give an overview of this, when I click on this mine, you can visualize it. It is not actually happening. This is only a GUI atmosphere to visualize that this block has been created and it has been mined. Now look very carefully with it. This hash value of the block is now stored into the second block previous value. Why? Because the second block joins to the previous value hash. The second block joins to the previous value hash value of the previous block. So this is the hash value of the previous block, which is same as this. Now if I'll write something in this, you can see that the hash value of this block also changed. Okay. Now sharing this link in the chat window and giving you I'm sharing this link in the chat window. And am I audible? Vishal sir, am I audible? Saying it is connected.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You are audible, sir. Mayank sir?
Am I audible, Vishal sir? Vishal sir, am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible. You are audible, sir.
Okay, today I think it is a lot of connection problem. I have shared in the chat window the screen which I was showing to you. Was it visible to all that how mining was done and how hash was done? Any query in that? I was stopped sharing just now. It was done. So I'm giving 2 minutes to you. I've shared the same thing which I was showing to you in the chat window. that open this link in the chat window, and the thing which I've shown you, experience this practically. Okay, I'm again opening the window. I was explaining, just hold on, not this screen. I was not explaining this screen to you. I was explaining to you this thing I was explaining to you. So just open the same screen which I've shared with you on the chat window and do the things which I did, like do the changes in this and see how the hash value changes. Do the changes in this and see how the hash value changes. Mine it again and see how mining works. The previous hash is same or not. So just use your chat window to see if it is working. And when you have done this with, just write 2 in the chat window so that we can proceed. Okay. Let these blocks turn. This is a GUI application. This is not an actual blockchain atmosphere, sir. I'll show you another actual blockchain atmosphere also. Just do this thing. And when you are done with this thing, uh, oh, it turns red, it turns green, it turns blue, it turns pink. It means nothing. Okay. This is a GUI atmosphere which has been created by someone to give you a picture that how nonce work, how hashing works. Okay. That is only not a real example. It is only a dummy example to make you aware that how blockchain works. If you are done with this, then please write 2 so that I know that you have experienced it practically. Just type 2 in this on the chat window and enter when you are done. Okay. Done. Shall I proceed? Very few people are writing 2 2 2 2 2. This is something which can be done by anyone, even means any teacher can do it. English, Hindi, geography. Okay. So in the same screen, if you open this hash on the same side, instead of that block, just open the hash and write down something. Now, for example, I write down BVI can. This is the hash value, SHA-256 value for BVI can. If instead of M, I by mistake write down N, there's only one single change in the character of data. You can see that how strongly, how drastically the hash value, the result have changed. This is the power of SHA-256. This is the value of BVI CAM. And if I, instead of M, I write N, how does it change? So just practice this thing also. Instead of in the same link which I've shared before, click on hash or open this link which I'm sharing on chat with you. Open this link and try this thing. Okay, just try this thing. And when you have tried this hash, give a 3 in the chat window this time. When you have tried with this, give a 3 in this chat. Here I want more number of threes. Just for every value of, very good, Dr. Sansan. For every value of data change in data, the hash value is also changing. This is what it is making it secure. This was my point. Okay, now let's proceed. This is, I'm closing this window now. Yes. Now see, on your website, you can see a site called ethereum.org. Now I'll speak a little bit about Ethereum, which is one of the blockchain platforms, so that you come to know what is. I can change small case letters. Yes, you can change anything. Now, ethereum.org. Now, Ethereum is a blockchain platform, and if you go through the my videos, you will come to know more about Ethereum and how do we implement applications in Ethereum. Okay, so this is a website, official website of Ethereum, which is called ethereum.org. Ethereum is a blockchain platform. We are having currently Ethereum 1.0 as a version. Very soon it is expected that we'll be having a Ethereum 2.0, which will again be a change. The cryptocurrency which is used in Ethereum is called Ether. Now, those who are really interested in to know what is Ethereum and all, you can go through this website and read a lot about it. It is given over here. And one thing I practically recommend is that there is a Ethereum community link. If you can see on my screen, Ethereum community link. Click on this link, Ethereum community, and there are various online communities which are there. There are various online communities which are there. You can join these communities. There are even meetup groups are also there. Now, due to this corona, these meetup group is where people meet and discuss for the common thing for which that meetup group is being made. These are different meetup groups which have been made for Ethereum. Now, due to this corona, there are various meetups which are being organized online mode. Otherwise, this is a meetup group for Ethereum Singapore, which is for people those who are living in Singapore. Those who are traveling to Singapore, they can meet together and discuss on Ethereum latest changes. So, if you are interested to know a lot about Ethereum and all, you can join this meetup groups and be a part of different meetups which are being conducted online. Sometimes they are paid and sometimes they are free. So join the free meetup groups. Join the Twitter handle of Ethereum people. Whatever you do with Ethereum, just keep on tweeting it. I'm also sharing with you my website, and on my website, uh, all my Twitter and LinkedIn profile is there. So those who are interested in blockchain, they can connect to me on my website also and visit this ethereum.org. Now, when we work on Ethereum or on any blockchain network, the block and all things which it looks like it. Let me see if it is. Bear with me. Just hold on. I'll open another window for you. Yes. Now this is the exact. Is it visible to you? This block 490624.
Block 490624.
What's this? Is it visible? Kindly use your chat window and type yes. Okay. Now, see, this is first I show you something. I've shown something dummy to you. Now, this is the actual block I'm showing to you. Now this is a block number which is given to every block has a unique block number. So this is a particular one block I have shown, block 490624. Every block is having a hash. So this is the hash. Someone was asking about the timestamp. So this is the timestamp which you can see over here. Height of the block means how many blocks have been created. Miner, which company, which organization have mined this block, how many transactions are there in the block. Then there is a difficulty level which is being associated with the block, and there are various other things which are associated with the block, the nonce of the block, the reward, the number of blocks which is been given, uh, the number of reward which has been given to the miner for that block. And so these are the block transactions for that particular block. If you can go to this website, I'm just sharing with you on the screen, just explore the details of this. Just explore the details of this. And this is something which is happening at the moment. Okay, means which is live. So this is the record which is live over a particular block. If I'll just type blockchain, this is the actual website which I've opened, blockchain.com. And this was the link which was opened before for a block. If I change the block number, it will show the another block. Now I've opened another link. You can see to give you the live view that this block was mined 19 minutes before. The name of the block, number of the block is 644544, which I shared with you was a 490624, our old block. Now this is the block which has been shared 19 minutes before. This is the block, and this is the name of the miner. If you see to this, you will find that there are only few limited miners, those who are minting and mining the blocks, because it is a costly affair and only few companies are successful in this. And if you are creating a block, your block will also be visible on it. Okay, this is one of the website which is showing you the blocks which has been used in one of the platform which is called Bitcoin. It is for Bitcoin we are showing. Now if I go to Ethereum, instead of Bitcoin I choose Ethereum, it will show the blocks for Ethereum blockchain platform. Every blockchain platform is different. Now it is showing you for the Ethereum blockchain platform. At 24 seconds before, this was the number of the block, and this is the miner who has done this block. And these were the transactions which was there on the block. If I change the platform, it is another platform. So you can use for other platforms also. Now, when we do the testing, now I'll show certain 2 or 3 applications to you, then we'll end up with this session. Any query up till now? Any query? No query, sure. Now see, Dubai is one of the places which has shifted entirely to blockchain. Dubai is one of the places which has shifted entirely to blockchain. And this is the website which is called smartdubai.ai. So Dubai has shifted entirely to blockchain, and everything which is being done in Dubai is on blockchain. Okay. Similarly, if you search in Google, Telangana is the first state of India which has shifted to blockchain. Means for land registries and all. This is not our system. Yeah. If you can open it on your system, this Kaspersky is not allowing me to. Telangana district, blockchain district of Telangana.gov.in. This is an official website of Telangana government, and they have shifted to blockchain network, and this gives rest to the things also that blockchain is something which is not allowed by Indian government. Blockchain is basically allowed by Indian government. Cryptocurrency is something which is in a hue and cry that whether you can use cryptocurrency or not. Okay, now I'll show you food chain blockchain network. You see, this is a very good example of blockchain application, which is a food chain, transparent food supply chain. You see, we all are very much particular that from where we are getting the food, whether it is we should eat it or not, whether it is an organic food or not. So there are companies which are working on using blockchain to record all this information, that from where the seed came, when was the seed sown, or what the farmer was doing, and where the product was sold, and finally where the product has reached to the distributor, to the retailer, and who has bought. So when we become a member of these companies, then all these things are visible to us. So this is, it can be used. So blockchain can be used for anything. It is used by music company, it is used by healthcare. For example, in healthcare, there is a very good example. If you can Google it, public blockchain health network, public blockchain health network, which is being used by corona system also by doctors. So this is one of the examples which I have shown you where blockchain is being used by in food chain examples. Similarly, IBM has also made a food chain network for blockchain. Now, if you want to see, you can give, let me see if it comes public blockchain. Public health blockchain, public health blockchain. Yes, it is there. PBHS, public health blockchain concept. See, public health blockchain consortium. Someone is asking use of blockchain in medical science. So this is a consortium which is using blockchain in public health. How it is using is, it says that whatever kit the doctor is using, it has been secured in a blockchain network from where the kit was produced. It has been using in to record all the patient's data, that what all medicines they are using, what all thing is happening. So everything is being used in a public health blockchain network. And this is done by a company which is called will click chain, and made by the CEO Ayon Hazara. So this is one of the company which is doing a great work in public health blockchain country network. So you can say that COVID-19 safe zones so life for a staff and resident. So everything is being recorded on a blockchain network. So now who all can party to it? Different hospitals have tied with this company. Different hospitals have tied with this company, Public Health Blockchain Consortium, to so that their staff become secure. In India, where we are wearing a PP kit, we do not know that whether this PP kit has come from, that who has touched it. So therefore, this type of blockchain network can make the things more secure, and it can be used a lot. Any queries now? Any queries? I'll be happy to answer the queries if in case any queries. No? Okay, that's all from my side for today. It is stopping the sharing. In case of any queries, I can answer the queries. Otherwise, we'll end with this session. The government created blockchain is of Telangana, sir. Telangana district, you search in your Google, you will find that Telangana government has shifted to land registries on blockchain. Okay. Search on Google, Telangana district. has shifted to blockchain. Any other query? Now there are different testing networks also which are there for blockchain. When we work on Ethereum, we use a testing network which is called Remix. I'm giving you in your chat window. That is Remix. Those of you who are interested in this, you can explore more on Remix. So the website is remix.ethereum.org. This is the testing window. This is the test network. Now, Ethereum 2.0 test network is something called by I'm forwarding the name, Nelland test network. So in May 2020, this test network was opened for public. That is a Ethereum testing network. Very soon, it is expected that the Ethereum main network, Ethereum 2.0 main network, will also be launched and we'll be able to use it. So that's all from my side. Thank you all. In case of any queries, and the platform is open, we are still have.
Thank you so much, sir. If any participant have any query, they can unmute yourself or write in the chat window.
See, it is assumed to be very difficult to hack or encode the hash. But nothing is impossible, though it was written that we cannot find out. There are very rare cases where some wrong things have happened. People have done lot of misdoings in Bitcoin's scams that in wallets and all. But that was all not because of the blockchain platform. That was all because of the mediocres, those who created duplicate blockchain platforms and people invested in it. Okay, that was the case. Otherwise, it is still assumed to be very much secure, and even banks are shifting to the. They have not shifted, but they are. Work is going on, and very soon we can see that banks are also shifting to blockchain.
What will happen in after payment?
Thank you, Vishal sir.
Sir, I think there are no queries such.
Yes, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Just sir is also with us.
Hey, Dr. Mayank. Good evening to you.
Sir, good evening, sir. Good evening. How are you?
All well. How everything is going on at your end?
Very fine, sir. Very fine, sir. The cases are increasing. That is the only issue. Otherwise, everything is going fine, sir.
That will increase, and I think by now we have started learning
Yes, sir.
that we have to live with it with all the precautions.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Blockchain, I think, will play a major role in coming days in academic system as well.
Definitely, sir. Definitely, sir.
Even the accreditation agencies like NBA, like NIC, like other agencies have also started that to which extent we can apply blockchain to the entire accreditation process.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So your lecture was only to sensitize the participants because my problem is that these participants from FIP
Yes,
are
sir.
from various backgrounds.
Different backgrounds, sir.
Correct. So we can't teach them actually the coding or any
Yes, sir.
hardcore technology. For that, the separate programs are there in which only computer science or engineering sciences
Definitely,
are
sir.
allowed.
Definitely, sir.
But this was basically to sensitize them that what are happening in the domain of technology, to which extent, irrespective of the subject discipline, to which extent this is going to touch them, this is going to facilitate them, and they should not feel that they are not knowing anything. So that was the purpose, and to serve the purpose. Thank you so much, Dr. Mayank.
Thank you, sir. The pleasure is all
You
mine,
and
sir.
attending your talk is always a pleasure.
The pleasure is all mine, sir. The pleasure.
And like always, this certificate is again to remind you that you have even been a part of this faculty induction program. One of the
Definitely,
induction
sir. Definitely.
program, right?
It was my
This is
pleasure,
a part
sir.
of this. So thank you so much, and all the best. Take care, and stay healthy, stay safe.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Dear participants, thank you so much. This was a little technical lecture, but only for the purpose of sensitizing you that what all can be possible in coming days in academic system. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Mayank sir, for giving your valuable time to us. And it was a wonderful session on the basics of the blockchain and how we can integrate the blockchain technologies in different areas.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Mm,
Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you very much to all the participants. Now we will meet on tomorrow. By tomorrow we will have a end of the third week of this 1 week FIP. Hope you all are enjoying. If you have any query, any point to discuss, you can write in the chat window or you can write in the WhatsApp group also.